Hey, what's up? Danny Dwyer here. I'm here with Andy Bauman. Andy, a Fallout trailer came out.
I know. Today is Fallout Day, baby.
I woke up especially early to watch this. Check it out. It's a please stand by screen zooming out from a television. That's a motif we've seen before.
Into a post-apocalyptic world.
Brian Fargo presents Fallout 1. Look at this. It's all going so well here. Yeah. And then zoom out and uh-oh. It's all happening bad. So nice little shout back to Fallout 1 there. And also to the Fallout 3 various trailers. The launch trailer had a zoom out from a television. The teaser trailer, as we see here, which didn't show much compared to this teaser trailer, zoomed out from a radio. So just remember, the first time we saw Fallout 3, it was just this. And a Brotherhood of Steel shot. So
but that was epic because it was like, yo, 3D motherfuckers.
The ink spots was used in this trailer. The track I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. The ink spots was also used in the Fallout 1 trailer.
So that's the intro to the game, actually.
Sorry, you're right. This is the intro. This is a song called Maybe. And the ink spots were also used in this one. It's actually a different song each time, even though they use that same riff.
Yeah, the dung, 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 dung.
Yeah. This song is called It's All Over But the Crying.
Man,
those guys really, they must have been setting the world on fire in the 30s with positive music.
Yeah.
This is a scene we're used to in Fallout, the Radiation King television there. This is a house which is left after some nuclear horribleness has happened. And as you so rightly were saying this morning, this is a loot cave.
Yeah, all that's left to get is the cereal.
Exactly, yeah. Let's hope there's some cereal in this. Lots of shout-outs to the old game Blast Radius.
That's amazing.
On the kitchen top there, or on the
but look at this
table.
How it cuts back and forth there. We don't see that in the game necessarily. They could just be doing it for atmospheric building.
You don't know. Yeah, but they've shown quite a lot of this world. So who knows? This is a Mr. Handy robot, of course, holding, would you know it, some sugar bombs.
Hey, all right.
Some pre-apocalyptic cereal.
Unradiated sugar bombs.
It'll be radiated by the time you get to eat it in this game. Here we have a game, or a dog, which
on the table there.
Doesn't look too dissimilar from Dog Meat. This is another German Shepherd, which I think you'll probably be spending a lot of time with in Fallout 4.
Oh, I thought it was Riley.
So many German Shepherds in video games. And you're right, the sugar bomb's on the table, so it turns out Mr. Handy, maybe the last time he served cereal to this wonderful family, this young family. Actually, we can see he only just got out of the box. The Mr. Handy box is there on the right, so poor dude didn't get to do much. Yeah, the box held up all right. Turns out cardboard. Just hide in cardboard if the nuclear fallout comes. And then we zoom into this. First thing to say, I guess, is that color, and obviously a lot more color here, and we see a little Nuka-Cola truck on the kid's bedside table there, a little stand. But yeah, like even in this area, this post-apocalyptic, like that blue is quite striking.
Yeah. So
I'm wondering if they're going to step away from the sort of reserved color palette of Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Although New Vegas was a bit more colorful than 3 was. One thing I liked here is that this really looks like the Repcon rockets. This is from New Vegas, the rocket engineering production company of Nevada, which you might remember.
I do. I remember that quest being amazing, actually.
Yeah, pretty solid quest.
We'll do it again.
And then we see some parents with a baby, which may be you in the game.
Oh, dude.
Baby.
I guess that's like a thing in Fallout 3, right? You're the baby.
That's true.
That's a total theme.
I guess the thing would be if you were to be the baby and then you came out, then not that much time has passed. Well, we'll get into that in a second because the Boston, as we were later to find out in this game, is looking a lot better than the West Coast was in some of the other games. So here we have a Fallout dog running outside to a very familiar looking scene. This is
there you go. That's Fallout.
Yeah, this is very evocative of regular ass Fallout. This shot here is not. Look at this.
Are we watching the XCOM that never was?
Yeah, that XCOM game that never came out.
Yeah.
It does look a lot like it. 1940s America. Folks packing up, presumably because they've heard that the attack is coming. The warheads are inbound. This is interesting because, like, I remember such a massive quest in Fallout 3 to find a tree. And here we have trees all over the place. And granted, they're not doing too well, but this looks like, there are leaves on the ground and there are bushels that are not flowering maybe to their utmost, and maybe not flowering like this Jonathan Blow situation we see here. But
yeah, so if those leaves are to be from before the bomb went off, they lasted a really long time. Or the time isn't that long. So, they still have leaves and this is just winter or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because look at this situation on the right, like this bush with red on it.
Yeah.
There's just like this type of, maybe they've just been a little bit more liberal with what
like art.
Yeah, with the art design, or maybe functionally is a little bit different. There's a skeleton on the ground there, presumably one of these lovely people who are trying to get into one of the vaults. We see the army guys there wearing what we now know in the Fallout universe as Brotherhood of Steel suits, but of course that's just what the army wore prior to the war.
Power armor for everyone.
Exactly. And then we see prepare for the future, this sort of vault tech slogan. We've seen that poster a lot of times in previous Fallout games. And that was a sort of the nice little intro. We got a bunch of a little sort of flavor for the universe, and then they show us what we're going to look forward to. Vault 111. What are we going to call it? Vault 111?
I think that's what our Boston correspondent told us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Eddie McCoo?
Eddie McCoo said Boston 111.
He's so dedicated to reporting on the news that he's actually in Boston right now on the streets.
He's on the scene, baby.
And this is a sort of a regular vault where you just walk in, but it looked like this might be the elevator you come down because it's like a top-loaded vault.
Yeah, there might be 2 stages to this one or 2 entrances. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, anyway, because this little section
What
here
is this? Yeah.
This is very evocative of the Fallout 3 intro where you see the wasteland for the first time.
You don't have eye protection, which is bad.
You don't. So you always get sunbloom when you come out of the bunkers. And this is very evocative of just regular Fallout as well. Big old wasteland.
All laid out in front of you. Go.
Yeah, go for it. See what trouble you can get into.
Yeah.
I wonder how many towns you'll get to choose to blow up or not in this one.
I wonder if that's a helipad of some sort.
That little
like
guy there.
Maybe that vault is equipped
repurposed
for, or like, all the vaults gonna have a theme, a social experiment or something like that. This one is like helicopters come and save you or something. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see.
There is a fan fiction out there for Vault 111 about it being the Christmas vault, but I don't think that's being used here. One thing that is, though, is Boston, the city of Boston. This is the Bunker Hill Monument in downtown Boston, Massachusetts. Nice. So we know where the game is set now. And there's a lot of motifs or Boston scenery used here. This is the USS Constitution. Do you know much about this boat?
Well, I've been on this boat.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. It's a pretty cool boat. It's got lots of cannons restored and sitting there looking...
Presumably it didn't have rockets on the back of it when you saw it.
I mean, it could have been underwater. It looks like they've been retrofitted to be some sort of warship. Maybe they're going to go to China on this boat before the war broke out.
Yeah, now they're stuck. They just built a store underneath it, like everything.
Yeah, or maybe they've done this post-apocalyptically, and they're going to like try and make an airship out of this. This thing. Who knows? The possibilities are endless.
We'll have to find out. Could be Rivet City version 2. Here we have an interesting scene. This is Scholarly Square in Boston, which I've not been to, but I've read up about it. Sort of like the downtown bar restaurant area.
Cool.
But a mysterious stranger there. Familiar mysterious strangers from the first 2 games, and you were reminding me earlier. Of course, it's a perk in Fallout 3.
Yeah, it's a perk where the dice rolls when you're doing VATS, and a guy in this sort of get up, a trench coat and a hat and all that, he shows up and a guitar riff plays, or like a 40s mystery riff plays, and he shoots someone, does massive damage. So
massive damage.
It's a cool thing that's been in the Fallout universe since the beginning.
Yeah, nice little reference. And the memory den there as well. It's probably some bad nonsense happens in there. Very detailed.
What if they give the mysterious strangers like a faction?
They became like talkable, like actual characters.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Brahmin confirmed. We got a caravan right there. There's a bunch more Brahmin in the background. I like the storm that's coming in here. I'm wondering, are they going to do some sort of weather nonsense?
Oh my god,
because they've not really done that.
That would be that would add a lot to the atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. What else we got? Here's interesting. We got some
mobs.
These look like, are they in power armor? Is that Brotherhood?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, there's a big
with all this
situation.
Awesome lighting going on.
As ever, lots of broken up buses and stuff. Maybe that's a reference to Fallout 3 straight up. Who knows? Again, we have sort of a lot of like. It seems like
we're getting closer to the city in these shots.
Yeah,
and now we have one of the robot handymans,
and we have a Protectatron.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, which they were introduced into New Vegas, I think. Protectatrons are a staple of the franchise as well. Here we have a construction site. All in all, Boston seems to have not been hit as badly.
No, it certainly seems like it's held up pretty well.
Yeah, definitely comparable to what we saw on the West Coast, which would make sense because they were, I guess the Chinese were closer to them, so presumably more warheads landed on that side. There's probably some sort of deep fiction about it that'll explain some of that. But our friend the Protectatron here. This is interesting. This is the hull of a boat that's been sort of converted into something, and a fucking Mirelurk.
Yeah.
Look, Mirelurk's confirmed.
Oh, those crabs.
Those jerk
Look
holes.
at that sand. It's awesome looking.
It looks great. I like the wind that's happening on the on the leaves there. Maybe we got some Witcher 3. Maybe you have to turn off that wind to get Fallout 4 working properly. Yeah. This is another great showing of the new lighting stuff that's happening of Fallout 4. Because like so many animations don't look super incredible. Obviously, this is an open world game, so you kind of have to, be realistic about it. But the lighting here looks really sick.
That volumetric stuff is really good. And this is like Fallout 3. Hey, look, remember overpasses? But look, we have lighting now. It's even better. So I'm into the graphics. I know a lot of people are saying they don't like them, but I don't know.
Next gen overpasses. There's also a little remember that little poster in the background, that little RR thing. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the next shot. I can't think what this is. I was wondering if it was those crazy beasts,
like the hardest ones
in New Vegas. Yeah, those guys, but they don't look the exact same. So I don't know if this is a new type of enemy or
looks
perhaps
nasty.
It's a returning one. I like the volumetric fog situation happening here as well.
Yeah, the color correction stuff on this shot is amazing. I hope the game renders it like this for sure.
Absolutely. Hopefully, also showing off the sort of, they've shown a lot of city, but then also, we got a bunch of crazy wasteland stuff here. Vertibirds confirmed back in the game. Of course, the Enclave used them a lot. I think was there a quest where you got one in. You got one for the Brotherhood of Steel as well, perhaps at one stage. Yeah, Vertibirds, we see a couple of shots with these little bad boys in it. So I wonder if they'll take that tech they used in the Dragonborn expansion pack for Skyrim and get some aerial stuff in the game. Who knows? You said you think this looks like Rage.
Yeah, these enemies just have a Rage quality to their animations. So I'm like, is this id Tech? Who knows?
Yeah, well, they do own it now, so who knows? Super fast zombies. We're used to seeing these bad boys smooth, calling you smooth skins and whatnot. But of course, these ones are the ones that get way more irradiated. Yeah.
Hopefully, VATS will let you take care of them a little bit better than trying to shoot them on the move.
True. We haven't seen if there's any VATS in this bad boy yet. Yeah. So this is interesting. So this, first of all, is Fenway. So it's where the Red Sox play.
And note that diamond, right?
Yes.
That's a symbol of what I think is coming up next.
So it opens up. This thing opens up, and then we're into...
I think you're inside Fenway in this shot, in a city that's been built inside the walls. Because Fenway is I've seen it, it's enclosed more than like a lot of baseball parks.
Well, the green monster wall and whatnot.
And it's like in the middle of the city. So like it'd be a great place to build a city, from the ashes of another city because it's protected. And the Diamond City surplus that's on that sign there has the same symbol. So I'm guessing this is inside the Fenway Park.
Diamond City. Swatters.
Lots of baseball stuff.
It's written here. Yeah, baseball memorabilia store here. Baseball bat, Swatters. There's also a guy dressed up as in a baseball getup in a socks. Actually, kind of looks like a Warriors Yankees thing. That's what I saw. First of all, probably not. Big baseball bat up in the top left corner there as well. And then Noodle Store. Why not? Power Noodle.
Kind of a lot of people in this city just hanging out.
Right? Like the Chemicare thing in the background. There's a lot of like established new brands, which is not something you saw a lot of. You saw a lot of old brands in Fallout, but like this stuff kind of looks a bit new. It looks like the world's been like this for a little while. If that's inside Fenway, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I love cities like that in Fallout universe.
Yeah, they repurpose something.
Yeah.
This is interesting because you think that this is the Paul Revere statue, which is downtown in Boston. We think that's the Old North Church. It's not exactly that close to the statue in real Boston, but it's a pretty good approximation. You made an interesting point about this shot.
It could be pre-war because everything's still intact, and there's a now leasing sign still on that building over there.
On the right.
Yeah.
And there's also this airship situation.
Yeah, and like how many big airships are there in the post-apocalyptic world? Like I don't think there's many, or else there'd be way more transportation between cities. Which they seem to be pretty isolated.
And the towns don't look that beat up. Like the cities don't look too beat up, but they look kind of crazy in comparison to this one, which obviously it's a nighttime shot, but then also like those look at that. Like it looks relatively normal.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think Boston maybe they didn't get hit by the nukes.
Or this is like you said in the past. I guess we'll find out. There's a lot of references to that though, stuff in the past. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a vertibird there just about in the last shot of that. You can just barely see it. You can just see it coming in when the sweeping over the statue. So this is interesting. This sort of RR gasoline, diesel,
infusion,
which is right there. We've also got a Brotherhood of Steel guy here. This is post-war. A couple of little things here. written that might be worth checking in on. First of all, the Galaxy News is the GNN sign here.
It is, yeah.
So GNR radio was Galaxy News Radio, which is where your boy Three Dog was.
Hey,
woo!
Yeah.
So GNN could be Galaxy News Network, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like a bigger one.
The TV version of that, maybe.
Ooh, it might be. Maybe three. There was word that Three Dog said that he had worked on something. I think he leaked something a while ago, like a year ago.
Oh yeah.
So maybe he's back doing that. We'll have.
He's on camera this time.
Yeah. There's another little sign in the background there for
Fallout
up here. Yeah, I thought it said Fallout. It's actually Fallon's.
Fallon's.
And the rest of Boston
Nice
in the
little
background.
gag.
The Nuka-Cola thing on the right as well. Sign up on the side of the building.
And that R&R thing again, like the war was fought over resources, so it's a little nod to like what caused the downfall of humanity.
Here's a nice little shot. Massachusetts State House there in the foreground.
Yeah.
And this building in the background is interesting. You were sort of mentioning it. I wonder if it's under construction that was used, maybe when the bombs hit, or maybe it's
Citadel-y, right?
Yeah.
It's like crazy looking. Who knows?
And it's in a bunch of shots, so perhaps it's a feature in the game. Yeah, but like this is probably the shot which just shows to you how much different this city is to every city in Fallout.
Yeah.
Because this looks like the top. You wouldn't know that. This shot here wouldn't tell you that nuclear fallout has happened because the tops of these buildings look like the tops of any building.
Yeah, and the State House is still intact. It's just
Yeah.
a little rusty, I guess. Like it's not shiny.
Yeah, you compare it to something like what DC looked like in Fallout 3
Yeah,
and
devastating.
Yeah, even the Capitol building, like even those
Yeah.
buildings were like busted to shit. Like this actually looks kind of okay. So this is interesting. Yeah, this is the top of the 101 vault, which is this top loaded vault right beside the residential area.
Yeah, this is the 111 vault for sure because you can see it on the floor there.
That
looks like
shot
they're trying
there.
to get inside before the bombs go off.
Yeah. Unlucky for you. Lady with a
happened?
baby in the foreground here on the left, dude on the right. So maybe that's not you as the baby, but it is a motif that obviously permeates through the series. Man, that's one ugly looking explosion. I wonder if we're going to see some of this. I wonder if this is going to be like a prologue part or if this is going to be like flashbacks that you play during the game, maybe.
It's hard to say, but they sure had to do some post effects to make this look better than it does.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So who knows if it's like, it seems like one of those cutscenes that's just kind of at the beginning or something.
Thrown in.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Here's our friend Riley from Call of Duty again, or Dogmeat, making his return. And I think this is perhaps the most telling. This is like the third chapter of the trailer.
Yeah, and it's definitely the one
Nuka-Cola.
that's craziest to me.
Yes. So we'll get into this. So this is obviously some power armor. Power armor in Fallout 3 and Fallout 1 and 2, you had to like level up to get. In Fallout 3, you had to get a specific perk to use. This power armor, I think this shot here is probably the most important shot of the whole trailer.
Okay.
Because this power armor, let's do it piece by piece. This power armor looks like it's being upgraded.
And it's being assembled.
Yes. It also looks like there are some weapons on the left above that little Fallout Boy bobblehead.
Yeah, like on the board there.
That are awesome. Because there's a laser rifle there. Yeah. There is a power glove, I think, at the top. But some of these look like weapon components.
Right. Like haven't been quite assembled all the way.
Yeah.
But who knows, like, and there's a minigun underneath some blankets over there.
And then on the right we have this sort of Vault Tech poster which almost looks like it's got the perks on it.
Right. It's like trading cards maybe pinned up or something.
And then beside that is a magazine rack. And of course you collected magazines all the way through all the Fallout games, but they were never really for anything. Like some of them gave you like ability upgrades and stuff.
You could read like Handyman's thing and get more like repair and stuff.
But imagine if you were collecting them. Imagine if this was your home, your hub
world.
Yeah. This is your home base.
Yeah. So that leads into some theory crafting that we're gonna do. But
we'll get into it in a little bit. But yeah, here we have the power armor, which is obviously being built together. Some more Nuka-Cola stuff in the background. Top left shelf, that's some other little bits and bobs. I wonder if this is like
like your home.
Yeah, like your inventory or something. So Doggy runs out. So this is interesting. This is the same. This petrol station, this gas station is that RR brand as well. And here we have your Vault 101 dude getting out. New Pip-Boy. Check it out.
Ooh, what have they improved?
So this is slightly different to the Pip-Boy 3000 in that, first of all, you always needed a glove with the Pip-Boy, so you don't need a glove with this one. And perhaps the most stupid design decision ever on the Pip-Boy was that it always went on your left hand, but the dials were on the left of the unit. So if you tried to use your right hand, you had to cover this. Yeah, you had to cover the screen. Like Steve Jobs was not involved in the design of the fucking Pip-Boy. So this one, they've swapped the controls over to the right side, which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't need a glove. It's not on either, so we don't know really what's, what it does yet. But you can rub a dog with it on pretty good. And then here we go. He talks.
What
talks.
happened to Fallout?
The dude talks. Is it Troy Baker? Is that Boston in the background?
Sounds like so much like Troy Baker. And why is he speaking?
So this is interesting, right? So there was a leaked manuscript a while ago, which had some sort of protagonist talking. Had some script, some dialogue. So the idea of a talking main protagonist in Fallout has been a rumor that's been going for a while. This one all but seems to confirm it. Obviously, we don't have full confirmation yet, but it definitely tilts his hat towards that. I guess. What do you think of that right off the bat?
I'm not against it unless they better have a female version too.
Yes, because of course you could pick your gender and race and whatnot in Fallout. All of them. Yeah. So yeah. That'll be interesting if they have like a femshep kind of situation. They kind of would really want to, considering the amount of like role playing that this game does. And that's the other aspect of the role playing is that like one of the things I like about Skyrim and Fallout, and it's different to say something like with The Witcher where you play as Geralt, is that you can very much transport yourself into that character. You can make your own world.
Yeah.
So if they're going to have the character talking, does that mean that he or she just talks during conversations? That sounds cool. Or does it mean that the character is actually a specific character like Captain Shepard, and you can just change gender, but that it is a specific person and they have some sort of a route to the old world that they keep going back to, where they have like a story that is very much theirs. I know obviously you did in Fallout 3 as well with Liam Neeson being your dad and whatnot.
Yeah, but the great thing about Bethesda games too, and if they do have a voiced character, they may have to change this, is that you never really break. I mean, you can control from third person, but it looks bad because the movement's weird. But it never like breaks. Yeah, it's always first person. And even when you enter a dialogue, it just does that nice zoom in shot, right? It's like,
is that nice or is that jank?
I think it's cool because it like it's better than keeping it far away, because the composition to me is just like awkward, like it's too wide, and it like zooms in. It's like, all right, cool dialogue, and then you have it there, and it's like very in your face and focused, and it's like if they have him voice that, it might be weird. So they have to have like a reverse shot, like Geralt.
We'll have to see. Obviously, The Witcher 3 was a game with tons of dialogue, which ended up having it being voiced the whole way. So maybe this is just Bethesda dragging Fallout into the future. This definitely seems like they're going to, on the face of it, like it kind of looks like, oh, it's a new fancy looking Fallout and it's being set in a new city. But I think there are some nods to some very interesting things here with the power armor, with the way Boston looks, with the sort of, what era of Fallout is this being taken in? Is this like, is this closer to is it more in the future? Is it closer to when the attacks happened, but it just wasn't hit as bad? Not much information happening in California. It was all very hearsay. So like, who knows what was actually going on? Even as far away as from DC, because obviously DC got hit. Last thing to say, I guess, is that Bethesda Game Studios are making it. That's the website, and it's out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. The last rumors that we have is that, and this was a rumor before this trailer actually came out, was that Todd Howard might be doing some sort of a long presentation at the Bethesda conference, and that the other big rumor everyone's saying is that we may see this in 2015. They did it with Skyrim. They had Skyrim out. They announced it at the VGAs on Spikes, and then it was out the following November, so it was within 12 months. So yeah, who knows? But Andy, thank you so much for joining me today on this very long breakdown of the Fallout 4 trailer.
Trailers never change.
That's true. Trailers never change. For more coverage of Fallout 4, stay tuned to GameSpot.com. Thanks very much for watching.